After many months of preparations and ensuring all invitations are sent and relevant delegates are aware, the 4th Green Growth Conference and Exhibition in Kenya was held on the 12th and 13th of July 2018 at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC. Conference delegates and exhibitors were drawn from multi-sectors within Kenya which are highly sensitive to climate change, such as agriculture, energy, transport, forestry, wildlife, water supply, finance and academia, among others.
For farmers to meet the quality they need finances, so we link them to financing.
The high-level forum was graced by government officials, private sector players and the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP. The two-day Green Growth Conference is certainly Kenya's largest organized annual conference that focuses on different cross-cutting issues related to green growth and sustainable development. Engineer Lawrence Thimitu, Environment Secretary, Ministry of Environment and Forestry, who represented the Cabinet Secretary Keriako Tobiko, officially opened the 4th Green Growth Conference.
I'm encouraged by your initiatives, and also it might be on a limited scale for now. In future, this is expected to change as more stakeholders come on board. The transition to a green economy will in the long term lead to faster economic growth and increased wealth creation opportunities. Investing in green economy activities in the key impact sectors of agriculture, energy, manufacturing and transport would certainly lower energy consumption and carbon emissions.
Among other senior stakeholders that were in the opening ceremony were Dr. Juliet Biao Kodenokpo, Director and Regional Representative, UN Environment.
Despite remarkable rates of economic growth, Africa still faces challenges of persistent poverty, growing inequalities, and low human development, with about 3/4 of the African population living on less than $2 a day.
Joseph Ogutu, Director, Strategy and Innovation, Safaricom.
We must be awakened to the reality that the pursuit of profits cannot come at the cost of growing environmental degradation, ecological destruction, and social disparities.
Jacqueline Manani, Vice Chairperson, Board of Trustees, Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust.
In order to demystify the role and opportunities of micro, small and medium enterprises as the key drivers of the economy in the key sectors. It will particularly be imperative for the micro, small and medium enterprises to take advantage of the government's Big Four agenda. It is noteworthy that 20.25 billion Kenyan shillings has been set aside to enhance food and nutrition security for all Kenyans, while 2.4 billion shillings will support value addition and raise the manufacturing sector's share of the GDP to 15% by 2022.
Charles Osike, Program Officer, Royal Danish Embassy.
Indeed, Denmark's ongoing support towards this conference is within the $75 million investments under the 5-year Green Growth and Employment Program, which culminates in the year 2020. It is within this program that Denmark is catalyzing Kenya's economic growth along a sustainable trajectory, which, among other things, will promote sustainable use of natural resources and create employment.
And Charles Nyawade, Acting CEO, Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust.
I wish to encourage us to take this opportunity to exchange views and trench on our conference theme that seeks to identify key sectoral opportunities in Kenya's green growth strategy. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, accept our sincere welcome to the 4th Green Growth Conference in Kenya. Thank you.
The conference objective was to rally collective action towards green growth intervention in 4 sectors, namely agriculture, energy, transport, and manufacturing. The theme, Key Sectoral Opportunities in Kenya's Green Growth Strategy, was a chance to unravel green growth opportunities in Kenya's key impact sectors, as outlined in the Green Economy Strategy and Implementation Plan, GESIP 2016-2030.
What are 2 or 3 things you'd say are critical for these enterprises, these institutions to take up for the green growth to grow?
We have invested in what we call an integrated waste management system, and because we've done that, we have increased the number of our recyclable waste to 97%.
Sustainability is really not an option. It's like you've gotten to the ecological limits of your development. And this is where we need now to get back to.
We are still at the forefront of promoting and supporting the off-grid and mini-grid among the smallholder farmers, so as to ensure that they're having a kit that they can be able to use to tap solar energy and be able to irrigate their small farms, so as to ensure that as they continue to produce the high value value chains, then they are doing that sustainably. Then they avoid a lot of fossil fuel consumption through the genset and the other generators.
To mainstream the green growth agenda in schools, Micro-Enterprises Support Program Trust, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, deliberately piloted a primary schools green challenge for 12 private and public schools selected from 6 counties, namely Kisumu, Bomet, Kirinyaga, Embu, Makueni and Kwale. The aim of the project is to inculcate a greening culture in the youth in schools by mentoring and engaging them in hands-on green growth initiatives for sustainability of communities.
The purpose of us having this green growth is to have this conversation, to people start having a dialogue on what is green growth. With that set in mind, this is just the beginning. We are supposed to take the green growth conversation towards all the counties. We have also tried to start it also in schools. That's why we started doing in primary schools, so that the conversation can also start at that level.
During the conference, winners of the competition were recognized: Makini Junior School, Kibos, St. Teresa's Boarding Sotik, and Mutulani Primary School, Makueni. The Aga Khan Academy and Braeside School, being among those leading in the green growth agenda, also participated through music, dance, spoken word and drama, with a clarion call for responsible behaviors that can save our planet. Green growth enthusiasts and actors attended the event, not only to learn, but also to take stock of the opportunities, understand new advances and reports that they can leverage on to accelerate the transition from a brown to a green economy.
Climate is a real big issue and we can really address it. You look at the issue of climate, you look at the issue of poverty, because for a long time these 2 aspects have been looked as if one is opposed to the other. That is the economic growth and then sustainable use of natural resource. So the narrative that we are trying to promote is that we can still grow economically, but at the same time use our natural resource sustainably.
Participants had an opportunity to gather a lot of information from the speakers, who have different backgrounds, in addition to exchanging ideas and insights.
We really thank the Danish government, Denmark, for really having faith in MESP, and MESP for having the ability to pull all the pastors together.
The exhibitions were a beehive of activities. Different exhibitors showcased technologies and initiatives they are engaged in the realization of the green growth development agenda in the country.
So we are here to showcase the various technologies that we have for our customers, for small-scale farmers, for large-scale farmers, all of which are a contribution to the green growth. We have to conserve the water we get when we have rains and floods around. So to conserve that water, we do dam lining to preserve water from seepage, and also have the various structures that are needed for that work. We also do roof water harvesting to preserve water.
The exhibitions clearly demonstrated how they are addressing gaps and challenges in the identified sectors.
We are in this conference with an agenda to promote our pump, which is a green pump using solar energy to power irrigation. And that is why it is, we are calling it solar powered irrigation, powering a pump that pumps water from a well, a water pan or a river. and the lift is 15 meters. And after the lift is being 15 meters, you can pump up to 3,600 liters of water per hour with this pump. And with that, we're able to eliminate the diesel pumps, the petrol pumps that have been in existence for quite some time, polluting our environment. And thereby, using our pump, you go green.
The conference is important to us because this is where we are talking about greening and financing considerations in the water sector. Because we are now saying that our priority is to ensure that sustainability of our investments will only be taken through if green growth is put in the forefront. And because of this, us being here in this conference, we are able to interact even with the other sectors that are here and looking at the synergies that we can also find, especially with regards to engaging with the private sector, also with the small SMEs who are also doing their initiatives in one way. And at the end of the day, the water sector is an enabler to development in this country.
We thank this conference because it has given us opportunity so that we can be able to promote these products, and also farmers to know the goodness of planting the seedlings. Like now, this is a cake. It's made from gooseberry.
Africa Collect Textiles use recycled clothes to make shoes and other textiles.
Most of the third world countries, they are going green now. It has a lot of impact because the theme of the conference, let's say, is talking about green. And for us to collect this textile from the local Kenyans and be able to recycle this product really relate to the theme. For example, this particular shoes is made from collected denim material, and we have been able to upcycle that product to make these male shoes. Through upcycling of this textile waste, because it's a collected material from the public, we are encouraging a circular economy. Yeah, because we know fashion industry is linear, whereby people buy product from abroad and come here and sell, and then after they have sold it, it ends up in a landfill like in Danida. So that's really destroyed the environment. This material is crucial and it has to be done, something has to be done, and that's where we are coming to ensure we are closing the loop.
This year's Green Growth Conference focused on unraveling the green economy in the context of sustainable production and consumption, green growth policies and strategies in Kenya, unpacking key sectoral opportunities, as well as green growth financing opportunities. Detailed and informative breakout sessions were hosted by expert and technical speakers focusing on different topics.
And today we were attending an event on green growth in the manufacturing sector. And one of the key things that I took out of this event was that we need to really turn some of the waste products that are in communities, and we need to turn them into a resource that we can use. So turning plastic waste into tiles to build roofs and putting solar panels on them, or turning it into a cheap, affordable way to build a house. Some of those sort of, instead of going from cradle to grave, going from cradle to cradle and working with the circular economy. I think that's the key takeaway that I took from today.
One thing definitely I will tell MESP, who is a good friend, keep up the good work, because we need an organization like MESP to really create these forums, but also, more importantly, in between a forum like that, like this one, the real importance is what happens between meetings like this. So this is where you can connect and where you meet and get aware of great solutions and great people and new friends. But really the important thing is to then move out of the conference room and make things happen out there, and really being the body that plays together companies, SMEs, micro companies, to really connect the dots in reality out there, so we can really make things happen in reality and implement.
The 3 breakout sessions focused on 3 discussions on the role of micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, in the stimulation and implementation of green growth development agenda in agriculture, energy, transport and manufacturing. Fruitful discussions were held, and in each session, strategic commitments were made by participants for adoption in their respective organizations.
It doesn't make sense to purify water at the point of supply, yet it gets contaminated through the piping systems. And by the time you're accessing it, it's already unsafe for consumption. So to make that easy, to make that sustainable for us as Impact Water, we ensure that during that point of consumption, that water is safe. And that is how we're making it sustainable.
We sought feedback from participating delegates about the conference, and they simply noted that they are looking forward to next year's conference, recommending that similar events be organized regionally or even at the county levels.
Green growth is now must be a way of life. It cannot be an option. And I think the organizers have gone way out of their way to make it what people expect it to be. But we can't think about Nairobi all the time, and other regions would be happy to welcome such, yes, because this will also give our people who cannot access such trips an opportunity to also be able to be part of the process. So Kisumu is welcoming MESPT for the next conference next year.
There's quite a number of lessons learned, but I think my main take home is that for green growth to actually happen, there has to be collaboration across sectors, and it was a very good opportunity for us to kick it off. So it was a lot of good networking and a very conducive environment for us to start building those networks in terms of collaboration for green growth. So I'm happy about that.
Attending the Green Growth Conference was quite a area opening up opportunities, opening up my mind and seeing what kind of businesses can we be able to do, how can we be able to really get that farmer down there to really adopt the technologies that are coming, the innovations. It's really good. A lot of opportunities in terms of financing, which is really good, but also the affordable products that are coming onto the market. So it's really the way to go and for the future. Quite a good opportunity, and I could be happy to attend it again and again, but also bring more people in.
We have learned a lot on green growth, of which we want to go and implement our places of work. I work in a slaughterhouse, so you can imagine how much I've learned.
Actually, this conference is a pleasant awakening. Green growth is one of those areas that we really need to create awareness. Most people, when they see the title, they don't understand what green growth is. But if you talk about blue economy, everybody knows. So how can we sensitize the public that green growth is what we've always been doing, but want to do it even better? So in this conference, there were so many presentations, there were many exhibitions really showing and demonstrating what green growth is about and what all of us as Kenyans can do towards contributing towards green growth in agriculture and mechanization, transport sectors, and even policy issues pertaining to green growth.
Well, the conference was extremely informative, and there was a lot of knowledge sharing. And I like the fact that we are talking about moving issues of green growth now just from the conference all the way to the grassroots. That it's not enough just to have a conference, it's a good thing, but that this conference will be just a beginning or precursor to actually entrenching green growth, the thoughts about green growth, the practical ways of implementing green growth, all the way to the county. So that as a common man, and even as our children, our thinking right now is how do we preserve our environment? All these things are very critical. We are thankful because we also met a lot of policy formulators here. There's a lot of support from government for the green growth, and I think the way forward is that we must rise up to the challenge, because there are many challenges, but also with challenges we discover there are very many opportunities. So now it is the onus is on us to take up the opportunities that are available to come up with green growth strategies or to implement the green growth strategies.
We think that this is a forum where we can now strengthen that relationship to give Kenyans what they want, particularly on waste management as a material to be used to convert waste into affordable building material. And other than that, since we are in the agriculture space doing fertilizer, organic fertilizer, we think that with the organic fertilizer in the market, we should be able to play a key role in contributing towards food security. Other than that, there is a strong anchor where we provide youth employment, which is a big challenge to this economy.
The 2018 conference attracted more than 250 participants and 30 exhibitors, which was a significant improvement from the previous year's participation of 135.
I've seen some good progress. If I look at what has happened this year, if I compare to last year, it's much better. In fact, starting from the face value of it, I see a lot of improvement from the participation. And also you can even gauge from the passion with which people are talking about green growth. And I think above all, what I've loved most is the market approach that the various engagements have embraced as far as green growth is concerned, because sustainability aspect of green growth is really dependent upon how strong it is linked to market systems.
This clearly shows that the green growth agenda is gaining momentum. The two-day event was sponsored by Danida and organized by the Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust, MESPT, as the secretariat in partnership with Proactive Development, private and public organizations in Kenya that champion sustainable development.
I would want to thank Danida most sincerely and continue to urge you that keep up with the spirit, so that then, because already we are realizing fruits of what they are doing, so that then that grows. Then secondly is to the 9 partners that we are working with. I am extremely delighted to see that they are all coming together. NEMA, Ministry of Environment, Water Services Trust Fund, Northern Range Trust, and who else, Net Fund. So all of them, they are here, and that is a clear indication that we are all consumed. And my prayer and my urge is that we continue in the same spirit, because when we do that, then this green growth agenda will become a reality. Finally, I would want to thank all the exhibitors, the 28 of them, because of accepting to come and showcase the real example about what we are talking about as far as green agenda is concerned.
They form the conference planning committee, which advises the secretariat on matters such as the conference themes, which are in line with the organization's works, proposed speakers and exhibitors, as well as solicit the interest of conference delegates.
Next year, what I'll expect to see is more policy change and implementation of strategies. So the different partners who are here to be able to demonstrate what they have implemented from this conference, and more sharing of knowledge, because we find there are a lot of knowledge and innovations, but that information is not shared widely. So next year we'll see how whatever we have gathered here today, what progress people will have taken by then.
The first National Green Growth Conference and Exhibition was held in the year 2014.